Shouldn't they imply next year? Shouldn't they imply next year? Are your kids nanny? Are your kids nanny? Shouldn't you be dealing with 2 midnight? Shouldn't you be dealing with 2 midnight? Can it be successful? Can it be successful? I'm in the room with the chairs. I'm in the room with the chairs. We continue to check. We continue to check. Does he forget at dawn? Does he forget at dawn? I am currently an engineering manager, but 22 years ago I was a student. I am currently an engineering manager, but 22 years ago I was a student. Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Can't they engineer it later at 5 a.m.? Are their grandchildren the receptionists? Are their grandchildren the receptionists? They did not become manager at noon. They did not become manager at noon. Does it sign annually? Does it sign annually? Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That geologist every day? That geologist every day? Couldn't they have an affair later in the morning? Couldn't they have an affair later in the morning? You can't go on soon. You can't go on soon. I talked to my boss about my raise. I talked to my boss about my raise. I was not sleeping now. I was not sleeping now. He has $2. He has $2. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they don't work. You don't even have to talk. You don't even have to talk. I took a nap after lunch. I took a nap after lunch. Shouldn't make a noise at noon. Shouldn't make a noise at noon. Doesn't he recommend? Doesn't he recommend? You create. You create. Can't I race car driver after 2 hours? Can't I race car driver after 2 hours? They were shot in the afternoon. They were shot in the afternoon. I went to the hospital yesterday. I went to the hospital yesterday. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music. Didn't he do it at sunrise? Didn't he do it at sunrise? Aren't you a midwife every week? Aren't you a midwife every week? Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? Will not sort. Will not sort. Sorry, I don't know the answer. Sorry, I don't know the answer. Was his half-brother a barber? Was his half-brother a barber? You speak Spanish fluently. You speak Spanish fluently. Shouldn't we propose at noon? Shouldn't we propose at noon? My grandson was a publisher. My grandson was a publisher. Vaccine. Vaccine. What should I do? What should I do? He's a congressman. He's a congressman. He goes to the zoo on the weekends. He goes to the zoo on the weekends. Can't he be a bellboy for 3 evenings later? Can't he be a bellboy for 3 evenings later? Relevance. Relevance. Can I buy you something? Can I buy you something? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I need to put eye drops in my eyes. I need to put eye drops in my eyes. He couldn't be a weekly cop. He couldn't be a weekly cop. That means, sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. The event was a huge success. The event was a huge success. We stopped to take photos along the way. We stopped to take photos along the way. Weren't they curious? Weren't they curious? He must be tired after running the marathon. He must be tired after running the marathon. He came up with a plan to develop the business. He came up with a plan to develop the business. If yes, did you encounter any problems with it? If yes, did you encounter any problems with it? Won't it be noon? Won't it be noon? Oranges are weird. Oranges are weird. They had been married for 10 years before deciding to have children. They had been married for 10 years before deciding to have children. I am confused. I am confused. I have to go back to school. I have to go back to school. Can't we be linguists for 2 weeks? Can't we be linguists for 2 weeks? He will not teach at dawn. He will not teach at dawn. I don't know where you will be. I don't know where you will be. After 3 years we are not scientists. After 3 years we are not scientists. Couldn't you have gone to the psychiatrist 4 weeks ago? Couldn't you have gone to the psychiatrist 4 weeks ago? We'll wait one evening. We'll wait one evening. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. Are you responsible for the noise in this room? Are you responsible for the noise in this room? I'm also working yesterday. I'm also working yesterday. 2 days ago I had a hard time. 2 days ago I had a hard time. He will start a new relationship. He will start a new relationship. Firefighters will put out the fire all night. Firefighters will put out the fire all night. You were suspicious. You were suspicious. They can analyze at night. They can analyze at night. How many people attend the meeting exactly? How many people attend the meeting exactly? Can't we be a hematologist at 2 p.m.? Can't we be a hematologist at 2 p.m.? Shall I make you a latte or cappuccino? Shall I make you a latte or cappuccino? I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music. You can never learn. You can never learn. There were children in the opposite building. There were children in the opposite building. I work in security and my job is to protect people. I work in security and my job is to protect people. Your half-sister was a landscape architect. Your half-sister was a landscape architect. Was your grandfather a civil servant? Was your grandfather a civil servant? Can we specify Don? Can we specify Don? Was I a carrier? Was I a carrier? He accepted the dinner invitation. He accepted the dinner invitation. You will immediately become the second man. You will immediately become the second man. Can't I evolve later at 2 a.m.? Can't I evolve later at 2 a.m.? I'll finish the exercise when John gets home. I'll finish the exercise when John gets home. Must go. Must go. John is aware of this. John is aware of this. Is his grandson a bookkeeper? Is his grandson a bookkeeper? Raw beets. Raw beets. Can offer. Can offer. Won't buy the dress without trying it on. Won't buy the dress without trying it on. My secretary at dusk. My secretary at dusk. Can't you apply then? Can't you apply then? Can they always wonder? Can they always wonder? I am doing something important. I am doing something important. After 5 minutes he should trust. After 5 minutes he should trust. Is his wife a reporter? Is his wife a reporter? He cannot die. He cannot die. Later in the morning they are not inspectors. Later in the morning they are not inspectors. May not choose later. May not choose later. Were their stepdads plumbers? Were their stepdads plumbers? Weren't we busy at dawn? Weren't we busy at dawn? I have no opposing view. I have no opposing view. My friend was the owner. My friend was the owner. Is her stepdaughter a cop? Is her stepdaughter a cop? Then he will complain at 2 a.m. Then he will complain at 2 a.m. The movie was full of action and suspense. The movie was full of action and suspense. Night. Couldn't he have been an officer at 5 o'clock the previous evening? Couldn't he have been an officer at 5 o'clock the previous evening? I don't know why you are doing this. I don't know why you are doing this. Can we do it in 2 minutes? Can we do it in 2 minutes? It was a lifesaver 4 centuries ago. It was a lifesaver 4 centuries ago. Was your uncle a hairdresser? Was your uncle a hairdresser? Surveys. You should not use your phone while driving. You should not use your phone while driving. Why should you be at sunset? Why should you be at sunset? I'm in the next room. I'm in the next room. Can you give me the scissors? Can you give me the scissors? Can't we get it under control at noon? Can't we get it under control at noon? Was her grandmother a songwriter? Was her grandmother a songwriter? Doesn't he insure every week? Doesn't he insure every week? Directly. English is also the language of business. English is also the language of business. They should not continue. They should not continue. Do you agree? Do you agree? Can't it be renewed monthly? Can't it be renewed monthly? It is different. It is different. Should he speak after 3 seconds? Should he speak after 3 seconds? Are you going to school? Are you going to school? Consistency. Can't I be a missionary later? Can't I be a missionary later? Didn't they experience it right away? Didn't they experience it right away? Should it be removed? Should it be removed? I shouldn't be a daily curator. I shouldn't be a daily curator. The child is beyond criticism. The child is beyond criticism. How much is a room with 2 beds? How much is a room with 2 beds? It's 1:45. It's 1:45. We wash. Thanks for warning me. Thanks for warning me. We have to wait until the traffic clears up. We have to wait until the traffic clears up. What would you like? What would you like? Did not continue. Did not continue. Won't it hurt? Won't it hurt? I am currently studying English. I am currently studying English. I believe it is necessary to be able to communicate in English. I believe it is necessary to be able to communicate in English. Should you support after an hour? Should you support after an hour? You listen to music on the way to work. You listen to music on the way to work. Can we lie now? Can we lie now? His half-brother was a negotiator. His half-brother was a negotiator. Let me know if your situation changes. Let me know if your situation changes. Let me see yours. Let me see yours. Why do you think? Why do you think? Your mother was a postman. Your mother was a postman. When the game is over, I will have watched my team win. When the game is over, I will have watched my team win. Hasn't it been 15 days? Hasn't it been 15 days? Can it suffer every year? Can it suffer every year? It won't block after 3 seconds. It won't block after 3 seconds. I won't be touching it soon. I won't be touching it soon. He was sitting in a comfortable chair. He was sitting in a comfortable chair. Rarely can it tick? Rarely can it tick? Such things. Such things. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? It could be. It could be. Even though it was raining, they went out. Even though it was raining, they went out. We await your response. We await your response. I'm going to the golf course. I'm going to the golf course. Can you attend this meeting? Can you attend this meeting? They can do daily floristry. They can do daily floristry. Were we pharmacists a month ago? Were we pharmacists a month ago? Shouldn't it be noon? Shouldn't it be noon? Couldn't he answer? Couldn't he answer? Over time, we will see the effects of our hard work. Over time, we will see the effects of our hard work. We would not direct. We would not direct. Usually does not reproduce. Usually does not reproduce. After a minute you may not be able to play the drums. After a minute you may not be able to play the drums. I talked to my boss about my job performance. I talked to my boss about my job performance. He listens to music while studying. He listens to music while studying. Wouldn't he be an industrialist after 4 years? Wouldn't he be an industrialist after 4 years? Is our brother a neurologist? Is our brother a neurologist? Can't I survive the night? Can't I survive the night? Could he be a warrior next year? Could he be a warrior next year? Increases at dawn. Increases at dawn. I'll call my friend to see if he's available. I'll call my friend to see if he's available. It may not be everyday blogger. It may not be everyday blogger. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen? It will be a great success. It will be a great success. His grandfather is a businessman. His grandfather is a businessman. I teach. I teach. I need a new battery for my car. I need a new battery for my car. Rarely an esthetician? Rarely an esthetician? Is your stepdad the weatherman? Is your stepdad the weatherman? They go to the cinema on Fridays. They go to the cinema on Fridays. The dishwasher is full, can you empty it? The dishwasher is full, can you empty it? Will it include 10 years? Will it include 10 years? I'm so bored and don't know what to do. I'm so bored and don't know what to do. I should not return. I should not return. Suggestion. Suggestion. Your aunt is a diver. Your aunt is a diver. Couldn't he touch it? Couldn't he touch it? After 4 months it should be taken care of. After 4 months it should be taken care of. He's going to paint the bedroom. He's going to paint the bedroom. Is your father? Is your father? I need some help. I need some help. Must be an economist every year. Must be an economist every year. The house is beyond the power of man. The house is beyond the power of man. I smile after 1 week. I smile after 1 week. Hair dryer not working. Hair dryer not working. Do you forget? Do you forget? He thanked. He thanked. His uncles were golfers. His uncles were golfers. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. Can you look at this? Can you look at this? I'm going to the water park. I'm going to the water park. Fruit salad. Fruit salad. We will not travel at sunset. We will not travel at sunset. I'm on a diet so I can't eat it. I'm on a diet so I can't eat it. Let's have a drink after the concert. Let's have a drink after the concert. Should he understand that silence is necessary? Should he understand that silence is necessary? Competitive. Competitive. They tasted the new ice cream flavor. They tasted the new ice cream flavor. Were you down once a week? Were you down once a week? Your stepdaughter is a pediatrician. Your stepdaughter is a pediatrician. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. On the other hand, are you a night supervisor? Are you a night supervisor? How many languages did you speak last year? How many languages did you speak last year? Did he jump? Did he jump? Didn't he get injured the previous 2 nights? Didn't he get injured the previous 2 nights? We can enter. We can enter. I shouldn't have been arrested earlier. I shouldn't have been arrested earlier. They watch TV after dinner. They watch TV after dinner. British English and American English are the most common. British English and American English are the most common. I'm dyeing socks. I'm dyeing socks. Says a lot. Says a lot. Conclusion. Conclusion. Did you come every day? Did you come every day? What is your name? What is your name? They will not wage war. They will not wage war. The chain was too short. The chain was too short. Aren't they decorators at sunrise? Aren't they decorators at sunrise? He is married. He is married. I can promise at dawn. I can promise at dawn. His half-brother was a pediatrician. His half-brother was a pediatrician. Can't I get engaged? Can't I get engaged? May I suggest a different approach? May I suggest a different approach? Your stepmother was cleaner. Your stepmother was cleaner. Could this be the development we've been waiting for? Could this be the development we've been waiting for? I'm sorry. Can you please say that again? I'm sorry. Can you please say that again? I didn't fix it. I didn't fix it. Their father was an anesthesiologist. Their father was an anesthesiologist. Can they judge next year? Can they judge next year? I'm in the room with the TV. I'm in the room with the TV. Any coffee left in the pot? Any coffee left in the pot? When do you finish your work? When do you finish your work? Was his stepson the owner of the house? Was his stepson the owner of the house? Are my cousins captains? Are my cousins captains? Do they get old by noon? Do they get old by noon? I need to buy a new air conditioner for the summer. I need to buy a new air conditioner for the summer. His family is a taxi driver. His family is a taxi driver. I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith. What is the price? What is the price? Let's continue. Let's continue. Can't you add noon? Can't you add noon? Your half-brother is a stockbroker. Your half-brother is a stockbroker. I will have finished all my homework by the end of the week. I will have finished all my homework by the end of the week. What kind of special? What kind of special? Rarely will he care. Rarely will he care. You should not feed the animals in the park. You should not feed the animals in the park. Won't be back sooner. Won't be back sooner. He couldn't let it. He couldn't let it. Can't be a hydrologist after 1 hour? Can't be a hydrologist after 1 hour? The stand mixer has different attachments for different types of cooking. The stand mixer has different attachments for different types of cooking. Hadn't we attended? Hadn't we attended? Was he a nighttime inspector? Was he a nighttime inspector? They could become senators right away. They could become senators right away. I disagree. I disagree. Did not put it in place at dusk. Did not put it in place at dusk. Is your grandson a judge? Is your grandson a judge? I cook every evening. I cook every evening. Suffering. Suffering. I should never limit. I should never limit. To hit. To hit. Are there stepmothers opticians? Are there stepmothers opticians? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We rented a cottage by the lake for our vacation. We rented a cottage by the lake for our vacation. Tried a new recipe for dinner. Tried a new recipe for dinner. I will see you. I will see you. Shouldn't we run away from time to time? Shouldn't we run away from time to time? They must meet at night. They must meet at night. Should not be a leader every month. Should not be a leader every month. Could not develop occasionally. Could not develop occasionally. May I have your order, please? May I have your order, please? Their husbands were stockbrokers. Their husbands were stockbrokers. They must be field guards at 4 after midnight. They must be field guards at 4 after midnight. They are usually not attractive. They are usually not attractive. They visited the zoo on Saturday. They visited the zoo on Saturday. The refrigerator is making a strange noise. The refrigerator is making a strange noise. I have to connect at noon. I have to connect at noon. But there will always be the next time. But there will always be the next time. Was my stepsister a tailor? Was my stepsister a tailor? Shouldn't they live by noon? Shouldn't they live by noon? Can't be added after one night? Can't be added after one night? Then I can analyze. Then I can analyze. Should not say next year. Should not say next year. Your brother-in-law was a dancer. Your brother-in-law was a dancer. Where is the scissors? Where is the scissors? Don't they change? Don't they change? They think I'm out for lunch. They think I'm out for lunch. Are your kids nanny? Are your kids nanny? Are we creating 4 afternoons? Are we creating 4 afternoons? I did not limit. I did not limit. Can't they connect every month? Can't they connect every month? Without. Won't you referee at noon? Won't you referee at noon? My son was the conductor of the orchestra. My son was the conductor of the orchestra. Lack of direction. Lack of direction. Can we plan a team-building event to raise morale? Can we plan a team-building event to raise morale? They played video games all night. They played video games all night. Tomorrow he will play golf with his friends. Tomorrow he will play golf with his friends. We won't be engineering soon. We won't be engineering soon. Their spouses were psychologists. Their spouses were psychologists. The decision to raise taxes was met with widespread opposition. The decision to raise taxes was met with widespread opposition. Flawless. Flawless. We must refuse at sunset. We must refuse at sunset. My brother is an interviewer. My brother is an interviewer. Do you have to design every month? Do you have to design every month? Will they be alchemists sometimes? Will they be alchemists sometimes? I'll try this once and see if it works. I'll try this once and see if it works. It is mentioned at noon. It is mentioned at noon. Can't open next year? Can't open next year? Sometimes they have to agree. Sometimes they have to agree. I can be a journalist every month. I can be a journalist every month. Force after 3 centuries? Force after 3 centuries? Could they be congressmen at noon? Could they be congressmen at noon? Was her sister a scavenger? Was her sister a scavenger? Can they appreciate? Can they appreciate? A century later, he would collect donations. A century later, he would collect donations. I can go home. I can go home. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Was it working before? Was it working before? Should he threaten 2 weeks? Should he threaten 2 weeks? I can connect. I can connect. Makes itself. Makes itself. I am football player. I am football player. What time do you usually get up? What time do you usually get up? I would be a monthly businesswoman. I would be a monthly businesswoman. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. I will tell John. I will tell John. Can't be a hydrologist after 1 hour? Can't be a hydrologist after 1 hour? I'll create a week or 2. I'll create a week or 2. Rarely will I appreciate it. Rarely will I appreciate it. Have to propose soon? Have to propose soon? I asked him to start as soon as possible. I asked him to start as soon as possible. Should I do magic before? Should I do magic before? I don't want to lose a lot of my stuff for magazines. I don't want to lose a lot of my stuff for magazines. The international community is interested in promoting peace and security. The international community is interested in promoting peace and security. I will be in bed at 10 p.m. I will be in bed at 10 p.m. Was he a fireman then? Was he a fireman then? Broken. Broken. Can't be a farmer sometimes? Can't be a farmer sometimes? My cousins were in command. My cousins were in command. I don't listen. I don't listen. His colleague is a lieutenant. His colleague is a lieutenant. Are we ranking? Are we ranking? I'll go outside even if it's cold. I'll go outside even if it's cold. My sister is an acrobat. My sister is an acrobat. Can look. Can look. Stop your car. Stop your car. Will there ever be a curator? Will there ever be a curator? I could smell the delicious smell of freshly baked bread. I could smell the delicious smell of freshly baked bread. Didn't come out last year. Didn't come out last year. No one is coming. No one is coming. Were you angry? Were you angry? His brothers were actors. His brothers were actors. Can happen every day. Can happen every day. What can I get for you? What can I get for you? Firefighters will put out the fire all night. Firefighters will put out the fire all night. I have a lot of love. I have a lot of love. Was taking a step. Was taking a step. I know a lot. I know a lot. If you want we can start. If you want we can start. Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? Was I drinking 1 week ago? Was I drinking 1 week ago? Should the postman be bi-weekly? Should the postman be bi-weekly? Can he arrest every day? Can he arrest every day? Was his brother-in-law a swimmer? Was his brother-in-law a swimmer? Can he always finish? Can he always finish? He couldn't make jewelry 2 days ago. He couldn't make jewelry 2 days ago. I was playing football when you came. I was playing football when you came. John, are you here? John, are you here? I will keep trying until I succeed. I will keep trying until I succeed. They should not continue. They should not continue. I am sad. I totally blew it up. I am sad. I totally blew it up. Who do you think is the prettiest girl in our class? Who do you think is the prettiest girl in our class? He was laid off at 4 p.m. He was laid off at 4 p.m. Was your father an actor? Was your father an actor? Constant. Constant. You can be an editor at dawn. You can be an editor at dawn. I don't want to lose my machine because of low prices. I don't want to lose my machine because of low prices. Is his wife a reporter? Is his wife a reporter? They may not be interested in next year. They may not be interested in next year. Sometimes we don't care. Sometimes we don't care. May I speak to the manager, please? May I speak to the manager, please? Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. 3. I like hot bread. 3. I like hot bread. I can't believe you're the captain of our football team. I can't believe you're the captain of our football team. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. Properly. Properly. I prefer your food. I prefer your food. Don't they ride normally? Don't they ride normally? Stepson pathologist. Stepson pathologist. He has to go to school every day but he is not happy about it. He has to go to school every day but he is not happy about it. Other hands. Other hands. Can they judge next year? Can they judge next year? Then it may appear. Then it may appear. Can exclude after 5 hours. Can exclude after 5 hours. We are having lunch at noon. We are having lunch at noon. Are the summers hot where you live? Are the summers hot where you live? It is normal for children to go to school. It is normal for children to go to school. Rarely did he become an economist. Rarely did he become an economist. Did you ask all of us? Did you ask all of us? Is our aunt the interviewer? Is our aunt the interviewer? Did I become a foreman? Did I become a foreman? May not always be ignored. May not always be ignored. Don't you include at night time? Don't you include at night time? Were my cousins professors? Were my cousins professors? Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Will not create them every day. Will not create them every day. Can you tell me where the nearest gas station is? Can you tell me where the nearest gas station is? Were our cousins farmers? Were our cousins farmers? Your nephew is a psychiatrist. Your nephew is a psychiatrist. You will be examined in 3 weeks. You will be examined in 3 weeks. My son came home last night. My son came home last night. I will come to your house in about 20 minutes. I will come to your house in about 20 minutes. We shouldn't kiss now. We shouldn't kiss now. Do you have an apple? Do you have an apple? Sometimes I was a firefighter. Sometimes I was a firefighter. Our stepfather was a journalist. Our stepfather was a journalist. They won't come after midnight. They won't come after midnight. We would retire. We would retire. I'd be back in 5 minutes. I'd be back in 5 minutes. Can you base at night? Can you base at night? I don't think knowledge is necessarily the best solution. I don't think knowledge is necessarily the best solution. Would he never have? Would he never have? Are his nephews financiers? Are his nephews financiers? She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. She had been teaching for 10 years before deciding to change her career. I'm so excited to go to the beach this weekend. I'm so excited to go to the beach this weekend. I crawled in the city. I crawled in the city. We are promoting next year. We are promoting next year. Shouldn't it be reduced? Shouldn't it be reduced? Shouldn't he be recovering soon? Shouldn't he be recovering soon? My brother was an architect. My brother was an architect. Aren't we missing? Aren't we missing? Our sister was a marketer. Our sister was a marketer. Can't we be sheriff in a month? Can't we be sheriff in a month? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? I know. I know. Their mother was a physiologist. Their mother was a physiologist. Will we be 10 years naturalists? Will we be 10 years naturalists? A lot of work has been done behind the scenes. A lot of work has been done behind the scenes. How much is a room with 2 beds? How much is a room with 2 beds? The office is often full of people. The office is often full of people. She will learn to dance. She will learn to dance. We can be agents 4 nights ago. We can be agents 4 nights ago. We'll stop at noon. We'll stop at noon. We can build this house. We can build this house. I have a stick son. I have a stick son. His stepfather was on the jury. His stepfather was on the jury. We didn't do angling then. We didn't do angling then. My head is aching. My head is aching. Will they be able to finalize it? Will they be able to finalize it? Something very new in this industry. Something very new in this industry. Had he worked harder, he could have won the race. Had he worked harder, he could have won the race. My annual spending. My annual spending. Does he forget at dawn? Does he forget at dawn? Must dance now. Must dance now. Late. Late. Do you think it helps? Do you think it helps? Cousins are messengers. Cousins are messengers. The agency is responsible for the investigation. The agency is responsible for the investigation. You should not carry. You should not carry. Can they go then? Can they go then? On the weekends they swim in the lake. On the weekends they swim in the lake. The various types of cheese were very good. The various types of cheese were very good. Was flying. Was flying. Is his stepbrother a trucker? Is his stepbrother a trucker? Pocket knife. Pocket knife. I love watching movies. I love watching movies. We will start a family. We will start a family. I'm not sure what to do, but I'll keep trying. I'm not sure what to do, but I'll keep trying. It may not be cold after 4 weeks. It may not be cold after 4 weeks. I cheered for my team at the match. I cheered for my team at the match. The coffee machine is preparing a fresh teapot. The coffee machine is preparing a fresh teapot.